NFL fans, we're a different breed. When you're refilling your cup with punch at a bar mitzvah and you spot another fan, at least football gives us something to talk about. The convos usually start friendly enough, don't they? Until you find out that your cousin Moshe from South Jersey is a fucking Eagles fan. Then it goes from amicable to what can I say to destroy this man in 2 to 3 sentences, usually after your third glass of spiked punch. Today we're gonna get ammo on every team, every fan base, nobody is safe. Not even your other cousin Shlomo from Arizona. Triggering all 32 NFL fan bases 2019 edition is coming up right after this. Bros, the math doesn't lie. Women absolutely prefer a man who takes care of his junk. It isn't just about the concept of personal grooming. It's about having the right tools to get the job done. That's where Manscaped comes in. If you're using old rusty plug-in clippers, do yourself a favor and throw that shit away. Because you ain't getting manscaped, you're getting manscraped. Let me show you the proper way. Let's look at this fine piece of engineering. Do you see a cord? No. Their long-lasting battery allows you to take these waterproof clippers in the damn shower with you. That's the move right there. No cleanup. Oh, you worried about these blades rusting? Guess what, Nancy boy? They are made out of ceramic and they don't rust. And when they eventually get dull, replacing them is damn easy. You can even get replacement blades shipped to you automatically with Manscaped subscription options, where you can not only get all your blades replaced, but all your products like crop cleanser body soap, which is my favorite, sent right to your house without you getting up, lazy ass. So after this video, it's time to whack those weeds down and flex on yourself hard. Go to the link below, use my code POINT20 and get 20% off and free shipping. Oh, did I mention the Perfect Package 2.0 comes with all this other kick-ass stuff? Again, use the code POINT20 and we'll throw in the shed travel bag and ship it to you for free. Come on, it's time to live on the top flight of dick clippers. Manscaped.com. For those of you that have seen the first one, thank you for coming back. I might have said some of these roasts before, but we can't leave them out. One more thing you have to remember, we aren't here to spew facts or make friends. We're here to piss people off. This is about hurting people. You'll see. It would be great for me to clown your history if you actually had one. Bill O'Brien and the dumb shit he says on the sidelines is nothing compared to how you mismanaged the clowny trade.
Do we want to continue to be the almost team?
What a disappointment he was. You've never changed your logo once, same as your results in the playoffs. I've got some advice for Mike Vrabel. Instead of chirping at your ex-teammates on the sidelines, try using a calculator when it comes to outcomes and when to go for two. No matter what happens this year, Mariota doesn't look worthy of the #1 pick. You're more than likely going to move on and plug in the Jake Lockers of the world for the next 5 years. Oh, you expect something different? You employed Jeff Fisher for 15 seasons. Wayne Weaver firing Tom Coughlin wasn't the biggest mistake in Jaguars history, nope. That goes to not trusting Blake Bortles when a trip to the Super Bowl was on the line and then deleting him after. Did I mention that he's worth $16.5 million in dead cap? You blew that situation faster than Jalen Ramsey got his mouth adjusted.
I mean, the good thing about, the world we live in is everybody can have an opinion.
Yeah, replacing TJ Yeldon with Miles Jack, that's laughable. And have fun sipping tea in London. Cheerio! You broke one Hall of Fame quarterback's neck, then took a future one and broke his will.
It's taken my joy of this game away.
And booed him on the way out. Really? I get it though, even Mike Pence thinks your fans suck. Down in the Super Bowl, you were ready to start the second half by getting the ball. How did that work out? And your team called and then executed the worst play in the history of mankind. And now this guy is your starting QB. However, he does make more sense than Ryan Gregson. You guys love Riverboat Ron right up until one of his gambles craps out. A huge risk hinging your franchise on Cam Newton's shoulders, his right one specifically. But who did you card out there before him? Jimmy Clausen, Matt Moore, and the wrong St. Pierre? Yes, you made 2 Super Bowls and lost them in the worst way possible. Steve Smith hit you with jabs on the way out. The guy he was hitting? Dave Gettleman. I get it, Steve. Your golden boy #1 Heisman winner was sat last year for a Harvard grad with a beard worthy of a master brewer. However, your fan base, that is FSU alum, won't let anyone criticize famous. Go back to your waterfront bar and argue with some UF alum about who was better in college, Mr. Crablegs or Touchdown Jesus, because that's generating more buzz than this team is. Bruce Arians unretiring is the only interesting thing this year, and that's triggering enough for you to start throwing haymakers at each other. I'm over all the 28-3 references. This is the last time you will hear it. But you know who isn't over it yet? You. Your franchise. It haunts you in your dreams like that totally unfunny Jordan Peele movie. The real root of your problem happened 39 years ago when you blew a 20-point lead to the Cowboys in 1980. You had an incredible defense and they went full Falcons in a way that would put a smile on Kyle Shanahan's face. Yeah, we know you got screwed by the refs, but stop being a bitch and get over it. The way to do that would be not suing the NFL, then in the most New Orleans thing ever, finding a crooked judge to let the ridiculous case keep going. You whined enough to get the rules changed, please shut the fuck up. The lawsuit is weirder than Mike Ditka's Ricky Williams fetish. You know what it would take to get you to drop that lawsuit? A miracle. I used to feel sorry for you, going Hugh in 16, but since then you have talked so much shit this offseason, need I remind you that the team that used to be you is your division rival and won 2 Super Bowls while last year was literally your best season. And your attempts at talking smack are as cringe as Baker's GQ photo shoot. This dude is like 5'8", man, he can't pull off these fits. You legit got screwed out of a couple dubs last year. Okay, that is a bad call, but you had to wait to drink free Bud Light on account of a tie? Remember, if you go 7-9 this year, it will spiral you into a rage all the thrown bottles in the world can't cure. You're the Cleveland Browns. Kyle Bowler could throw a ball through the uprights from the 50-yard line on his knees, which is where he spent most of his NFL career. Sorry you had to swap your golden boy Joe Flacco for a guy who can't throw. And Billy Cundiff missing that kick isn't nearly as bad as Bill Belichick absolutely scorching Derek Mason in this clip. Holy shit.
Oh, you, Mason. Just you, will ya? Why don't we talk after the game, all right? Just shut the up.
So I've been seeing on Twitter, on YouTube, all different types of places, people saying we're going to finish 3-13.
You're going 3-13 this year. How about #1 hiring Hugh Jackson and 2 having his ex-DB Demarius Randall hand him a game ball during the game? Marvin Lewis was the worst sacred cow of all time. I'd say you wasted Andy Dalton's career, a guy who's more appreciated in Buffalo, but wasting mediocre talent is nothing compared to the crimes you committed against AJ Green. That's actually sad, bro, but I doubt Mike Brown is shedding a tear. A salty Yinzer is now famous because of the soap opera you created last year.
This week on Days of Our Steelers.
With more drama than a Greek tragedy, you finally jettisoned the cancer that threw Juju under the bus even though he really fucked up. Does your scouting department not look at Wonderlic results or know what a red flag is before you draft someone? Only stopwatches, I guess. Guys like Mike Wallace and Martavius Bryant were coddled and then discarded like tampons. But you know what really triggers you? Me calling Terry Bradshaw overrated and bringing up the Neil O'Donnell era. And since the Steelers don't fire head coaches, get ready for 5 more years of Tomlin. It's the Steeler way. Remember that time you laid down to the Packers at the end of the season and a few short weeks later they celebrated on your field a trip to the Super Bowl? That hurts, but what's more painful is how the McCaskey family has sucked the life out of you through terrible ownership and moves. You guys banned cheerleaders for crying out loud. Here's footage of kissing titties thrown to his left. Jay Cutler and Rex Grossman were a nice pair of QBs, a double doink of failure if you will, and you knew that was coming. Speaking of teams that have bad luck with kickers, you backed up the Brinks truck for Kirk Cousins thinking the QB was the problem when you once again didn't sign a kicker or shore up that O-line. It's like you do the same thing over and over again expecting different results. Actually, you don't expect different results. Does the name Brian Bostic ring a bell? Let's not forget the 70s and 80s where you were a doormat and pre-renovated Lambeau was an ice-cold dump. Mike McCarthy was about as good at player relationships and play calling as Aaron Rodgers' lack of fashion drip. Speaking of A-Rod, you could be murdering him Colt style, but even when he makes a bad play, this is what you Packer fans are like with him.
Packers suck!
Matt Patricia looks like he should be selling you essential oils and porn on VHS. Megatron and Barry Sanders retired early, but Matt Stafford seems to not get the hint. Oh wait, given your current situation of mediocrity, you actually don't want him to retire. I can't think of any other 10-year starter that has been to only one Pro Bowl and is winless in 3 playoff games. This Packer Hail Mary ought to piss you off. No, I meant this one. Keep slurping all that Mahomes until you remember who your coach is. You were so bad in Super Bowl I that people questioned whether an entire league was legit or not. Sure, you won one 50 years ago. You should cry about the unfair overtime rules like John Boyes did on his bathroom floor after your loss to guess who? The Cheatriots. Absolutely wasted Tony Gonzalez. He went to Atlanta, of all places, to try and get a ring. And never forget the name, Lynn Elliott. You let talent go so often, you've earned the reputation as a franchise that isn't interested in paying anyone. It's bad when every other holdout is over, but Melvin Gordon's isn't. That Phillip Rivers guy, you would have been better with Eli or Big Ben if they even wanted to play for you. The 2010 Chargers were the best team in the NFL, and they missed the playoffs. Have fun sharing a house with the Rams next season. Your dream of becoming the Clippers is now complete. John Elway can do no wrong. Horrible drafts, lucking into Manning. You fans give him more open windows to escape through than a free porn site. Letting Demaryius Thomas go had to hurt. But you know what pisses you off? Hearing that Raiders fans know more about football than you do. It's not true, but damn, I can feel your anger. You can talk smack back to me, but you'd end up like Aqib Talib and shoot yourself. The immaculate reception happened against you. Your team has moved more than an active duty military family. You traded away your coach for draft picks, had him beat the living shit out of you in the Super Bowl, then didn't have a winning season until 2016 where your QB's leg exploded right before the playoffs. You hired Lane Kiffin, Hugh Jackson, and the coach you traded away. I'm not even at AB yet. The GOAT is still on your roster, and that brings us to good old Antonio Brown, a clown so large even Ronald McDonald is impressed. Frozen feet, helmets, fines, suspension, telling him he'll play week 1 while voiding his guarantees, and him asking for a release. You traded for an absolute nightmare, and that's not even the worst one that you're having. Way to bookend the beginning of the Patriots dynasty and its continuation. You gave Jared Goff the most guaranteed money in history, so the league will either be beating Goff for a while, or you'll end up paying him to play against you. You had Jerome Bettis and completely misused him as a fullback. And don't try to justify letting a Hall of Fame back go. The boy genius couldn't outsmart the old man who ground you to death in a Super Bowl less exciting than watching Matlock reruns. Someone bring me some Metamucil. Do any of you remember that you were an AFC team back in the day and you blew a trip to the Super Bowl to the Raiders? Here's a friendly reminder that Richard Sherman voluntarily joined the Niners. I love him, but Russell Wilson is an embarrassment on social media.
Hey, Seattle, we got a deal.
Go Hawks.
Unlimited. Yeah, I'm unlimited.
Who's your role model, Russell?
Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited? That sounds stupid.
I mean, he's more awkward than a 67-year-old man taking off his shirt. What happened to you? You used to be the crop of the NFC West. Oh, Jed York happened. Moving out to Santa Clara hasn't been awful or anything. I find it hilarious that the poor people on the east side of the stadium get blasted by the sun while the rich people in the luxury boxes enjoy their shade and AC. That's like a microcosm of San Francisco. You counted on Alex Smith, then DFA'd him for Cap, a guy that quit on you in so many ways. The saddest fan base in all the land. The saddest franchise in all of sports. It's terrible when the team that is paying the most attention to Kyler Murray is the Oakland A's. You made Bruce Arians quit. Despite 100 seasons, you literally have only 2 NFL championships. One that was awarded to you because another team cheated. That was when radio guys actually did look like this. Oh, you thought I'd wait to the end to do the Giants. Here's the thing that triggers fans of Big Blue. Eli is a bum and not worthy of the Hall of Fame. He got lucky 2 times. You hear that? Lucky. You chose to promote Ray Handley over Bill Belichick. Just the sight of an Eagles fan and you know he's going to bring up Deshaun Jackson. And how long until these fake-ass fans are yelling for Daniel Jones to start, then yelling to put Eli back in? Week 4? LOL at paying Ezekiel Elliott hotel money. How are you going to give the trash can $40 million now? Your sideline has more clap than a Vietnam War era brothel in Saigon. And what does Garrett do when something goes bad? Nothing, like your team has done in the playoffs for the last 20 years. You, as a fan, has probably never been to Dallas. I have, and they let me troll you like this on the sidelines. Let's get your owner out of the way. He created a fall season ticket list so that you would think the demand was higher than it actually was. I guess he had to. Fans of the other teams only need seats once a year. How much does it cost before you even get inside FedEx? Getting out of the parking lot by 2 a.m. on a night game is always fun. You sucked on RG3 so hard you drained his knee. Your QB list is as bad as the Browns. And this sums up last year's season to a T. The biggest comment on the last triggering vid is that you finally won a ring. Great. Justin Tuck has more than your entire franchise. Deshaun Jackson left you. Let's all remember the ineptness that was the McNabb-Reed era and good old Donovan spewing hot takes after leaving. You all let me know that you booed Santa Claus at Franklin Field, not the vet. Ignoring the fact that you booed Santa Claus and he was skinny too. That's 2 L's. Before I get to each team individually, Finns, Bills, and Jets, huddle up here. Fuck all 3 of you. Because of your ineptness, you 3 have created the Pats dynasty. You have offered less resistance to New England than Alex Jones has to reality. As of 2018, the Pats were 71-19 against you. It's so bad, Patriots fans had to blog to defend you for sucking. You had both Parcells and Belichick and you still messed that up. You fired your GM after he signed Le'Veon Bell when your coach was against it. You passed on Marino, but really the most triggering thing I can say to you is Joe Namath was overrated.
I want to kiss you. I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
You'll cite stats and say, but fumble. Oh, you thought you were special enough to go last? F you. Say it with me, everyone. Tom Brady is a system QB. Julian Edelman is a steroid-abusing, overrated backup quarterback who is not worthy of the Hall of Fame. For every miracle and gift you have gotten, there is Von Miller sodomizing you, Bart Scott, the derp twice, the strip sack, and the Ravens knocking you senseless. Also, you broke Gronk and Gostowski misses extra points. Are you gonna stand trial for murdering Ryan Tannehill? Keep holding on to 72 like it's relevant. You played less games against shit competition. Instead of bringing in better coaches, you brought in a team of mechanics to finally tune your tank. You're starting Fitception. And for those of you who come back in 3 months to tell me this didn't age well, I ain't worried. If the Jets passed on Marino, you wasted him. And finally, our last triggering. It's such an accomplishment that Jim Kelly, James Lofton, and Andre Reed got into the Hall of Fame, considering they didn't win anything. That Shady McCoy deal worked out, and so did T.O. AB didn't even want to go to Buffalo. That's kind of a dub, I guess. You benched Doug Flutie in favor of Rob Johnson before a playoff game that he got you to. How could you cut the GOAT? The miracle happened to you, of all franchises. And on behalf of the NFC East, we all say thank you. Well, I hope you are thoroughly angry now, or you did it right and just skipped your team. Please do not forget to check out Manscaped and use my code POINT20 for free shipping and 20% off your first order. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.